Are you an entrepreneur, a leader transforming your organization, or simply fascinated by the Swiss entrepreneurial culture? Today, I'm going to introduce you to the Swiss Made Edition. It is your go-to resource for actionable insights and inspiring stories. Learn from the best as we explore the challenges and opportunities facing Swiss business, uncovering the secrets to growth, innovation, transformation, and impact. Today, our guest is Gaël de Fourmestraux. And we have two co-hosts today in order to interview Gael and understand a little bit more about what he's doing in Switzerland. We have Michel Heizmann and myself, Ivan Palomino, and we are so glad to have you with us today, Gael. Gael, tell us a little bit more about your story. What led you to start your business?
Thanks, Ivan. It's nice to meet you here. It's a long story. I started I'm supposed to be a chemical engineer, as you know, because we were both studying in the same university. Hopefully, I'm not an engineer by my work because probably it will be dangerous. I think that what drove me to an entrepreneur's career is the passion to innovate and the desire to push the limit, to make something impossible possible. The only thing that I can link with my chemistry background is I am to be a catalysator, is to be the thing that makes the reaction possible.
Very interesting, Gael. Michel, you haven't met before Gael. What is the question that comes up to your mind about him?
The question that comes to my mind, and probably everybody that is listening to us, is, Gael, what is it that you came up with?
So,
what is your company? What does your company do?
I have two, actually. So the first one is called Falkorp. Falkorp is a consulting company, and the aim of Falkorp is to define organizational strategy focused on human that drives to a sustainable performance. To make a long story short, we try to manage the alignment between how you can move your organization to be as close as your teams do need, and to define what level of adaptation the team could also try to invest in their behavior to make the whole as performing as possible. The principle for us is the less energy you eat to do something, the best the performance will be at the end. So we need to be to master the alignment between the need of a team and the need of the organization. The second company is called Kyma. Kyma as a service, and Kyma is based on what Falkop has been developing as engineering, and Kyma is transforming temporary work into permanent contract as a service. So we help company in the industrial area to transform a part of the temporary work they work with and to fix as internal in Kyma all the person that should be internal contract, the end customer, but they can't be for many reasons. Reason can be the volatility of the market, the limitation of hiring process due to financial issues. Many tricks can prevent you to hire the person you need, that you would like to have, and you need them. And as we are the capability to master the alignment of what you need and what type of person you really need to make your business, we are able to hire those person internally and to provide those talent as a service.
So in other words, somebody that is, working temporarily in a company becomes kind of an employee of Kyma at the service of somebody else.
This is exactly the point, and we do that mastering the fact that we exactly understand what type of organization will be the most appropriate for the person we have. By consequences, the performance you will get as a result will be maximized.
Okay, and where do you get these people?
Most of the time, they already are working with the customer we work with, but we are working on the temporary contract.
Okay.
And we help the company to, I would say, secure the most suitable person they would like to have, but they can't.
Okay.
I see a
Thank
little
you.
bit like it's like a mega accelerator for your talents. You have the opportunity to use your talents somewhere else and increase your capabilities like super quick, which is kind of innovative in a way. And it kind of disrupts this image that we have about Swiss people being a little bit conservative, not enough innovator. They are fine as they are, producing cheese, producing chocolate. But people do not realize that we have mega corporations here. We have a pool of startups that have been growing. And you are the perfect example of the entrepreneurial spirit that is happening in Switzerland, where there is a mix of using technology and using a little bit of human psychology in order to help the business thrive and move quicker. Right, Gael?
That's the point. Is we don't expect to be genius. We just expect to be the most pragmatic person on the earth. There is a problem there. We can solve it, and we are able to solve it also thanks to AI. And we have put AI solutions based on psychometric advanced solution to make what was not possible yesterday possible today. And it solved this tricky problem of the volatility in terms of market and production that our customer do have, and we can help them to have a strategic alignment opportunity there, and also to deprecarize the job of a lot of person who have gold in the end and are absolutely mandatory to produce what the industry here are producing.
But who would be your ideal client? Is it a Swiss corporation or would it be like a French corporation? Why Switzerland?
Why Switzerland? I think that here in Switzerland, industry we do have here are producing very high value products and high technological products. So they need really to have to be at the end of the curve in terms of manufacturing and in terms of production, and they are keen to pay more, but they need to have really the best in terms of capability and in terms of quality. And this is the reason why we decided to work here and to focus on Swiss industries to help them to be as close as possible of the perfect fit and the perfect alignment between what they use and what they produce.
There
And
is
and when you started being an entrepreneur in Switzerland and catering to these big companies
About 10 years ago.
10 years ago, what was your dream and did you manage it?
I would say half of it is managed. The first dream I had was to be free, to have the freedom to make my dreams possible. And this is done. This is the freedom is there. But believe me, the freedom is expensive. So the second part of my dream was to have, I would say, some serenity. And this part of the dream is not completed yet.
Because you were worried about the price of being free.
Because the price of being free is heavier than I expected. But that's okay. It's part of the path.
Okay. So in other words, you're not getting rich, are you?
It depends
not yet.
it depends what you consider as being rich. Being free is being rich for me. On a financial point of view, I'm still working on it.
And so is this a route that you would advise for people to follow to become an entrepreneur?
As an advice, I would say the path will be longer than you expect. The price will be higher than you expect, and you will have to pay the full price in advance. If you're not ready to do that, don't go.
Okay. Any regrets?
No. Not the slightest. If I had to work the way another time, exactly the same way, I will do it. Because You have to go through some hills. You have to go through injuries. You have to learn, and you of course you learn in books, but you cannot learn to be an entrepreneur in books.
And if I may, Gael, I mean, it sounds to me that you were working before somewhere, and
Yes.
then one day you woke up and you say enough is enough, right?
Yes, I
So,
spent about 15 years in my career in consultancy business,
okay.
in pretty big firms and a smaller one after. And after spending 15 years solving problems in companies which were not my company, I decided that it was time to ground mine and to solve my own problems and to make my own way. I would say that the desire to be free and the desire to be a bit foolish and to be able to travel with person who were as full as I was big enough to jump.
I'm gonna ask you perhaps another impertinent question, and then I let Ivan being nicer. What support systems? Who supported you while you were kind of struggling being an entrepreneur? Who helped you?
I would say that my first circle. You have when you start for an amazing trip like that, you're not obliged to travel alone. But as the travel will be tough, it doesn't have to be dull. It can be fun, but it will be tough. And you need to be able to travel with person who are ready to bleed with you and to laugh with you. And I would say that it doesn't have to be hundreds of person, but a very close circle of person you will suffer with and you will laugh with, you will celebrate with, but you will work the way you will travel with.
And how many times did you get married?
Too many.
Oh my God, Michel.
You could not be more accurate. I've been married twice. I've divorced twice.
Well done.
And I am the happy father of 2 kids. But I think that in terms of marriage, it's probably not the business I'm the best in.
Apologies, Gael. I couldn't
No, that's
resist.
okay. Sometimes you win, sometimes you learn. I learned a lot.
Gael, I want to know a little bit more about the type of companies that you are building. How do you maintain the identity and values of your company culture as you grow? You hire more people, these people come from outside. How do you maintain this culture? What are you doing for that?
Uh, I would say that there is no secret sauce except for me consistency, honesty, having a clear vision and a common frame. To be clear about where we will go, to be clear also about the difficulty we may encounter, and to be to be consistent in the way you do it. I'm not the best person on the planet. I fail, I make mistakes, and that's okay. And the people have, I would say, my responsibility is to give the opportunity to each person who joined the company to make a choice and to know exactly what they are buying. And the responsibility of people who are joining us is to be clear that they make a choice and to be ready to assume that choice. And if they are not in line anymore, they're free. They're free to leave also, and that's okay.
Is that why you didn't hire Ivan?
That's the reason then.
Probably because I'm not rich enough yet.
Okay.
Is there a secret sauce that you use to motivate your team and keep them engaged in the long term? Everybody knows that when you are the founder, this is your baby, and you are capable of cleaning the office when everybody has left the office. So, is there a way to make them accountable, to make them motivated inside of your organization?
That's an each day job. First, a couple of the person who are working with me are my partner. They have shares. So it's also baby. And as you can not dilute your business to the full staff as well, is once again to be clear and on the direct contribution that each person can make and wants to make. And after that, I would say that my job is not to motivate people. My job is to be clear on what we can do together and what we will not to do. The motivation has to come from the person itself. I'm not sure that motivating people is the right thing to do, because it would look like putting petrol in an engine. The engine has to be fed by itself. My responsibility to respect the engine of the person I have.
And how have you selected these individuals that became your partners?
We are absolutely aligned on the value we want to stick to.
But how do you find out?
On the partner I have at Kyma, are a person that I do know more than 20 years now. We had the opportunity to suffer together, to work together, to celebrate together, and we had the opportunity to know how we were behaving all together in the toughest time. And when you know exactly how a person will behave when everything is falling, you know exactly the person, and you know that you can rely on them and they can rely on you as well.
And
This
same thing,
for the
sorry.
partner.
Same thing in Falkorp, or in there
Same
you
thing
were?
in Falkorp, and they are the same person at the end of the day.
Okay. Okay.
The involvement is not the same. I would say that personally, I'm really 60% of my time is on Falkop, because it's a sort of the R&D center for Kyma, and the operational Kyma are really between the hand of my two partners.
Understood. And when you are developing the business for Falkorp, who are you targeting? I mean, who are your clients?
It's a bit broader. It would be each company, whatever the size is, who is keen to understand better what is the best fit in terms of adapting the organization and respecting the person internally, the engine of the person internally, to get as a consequences the more sustainable performance. When I talk about sustainable,
But Gael, if you were
yes.
to say it to me, because I'm not that smart as you are, I mean, what does that mean?
That means that by Falkop, we have developed process and we use tools that are able to measure on a psychometric way what person do need to be the more at ease in their job.
Okay.
And based on all those measurements, we have techniques, process, and method then can define the more appropriate organizational strategy that will make sense for you and your company.
So if you have a shitty employee, you will send him to Falkorp to find out what is wrong with this person in order to fix it?
I would say that there is no shitty employee, that is probably have a shitty fit between the employee and the organization. It's like if you want to find the best shoe for you, if you don't have the right size, you can draw all the strategy that you want to run. It's not the right size, okay? But if it's the right size, maybe you can have also a tailor-made shoe that will be better for you. But if you are two size too small, don't dream. It will never work. Find
But
another shoe.
is it an individual problem, or it happens to be an organizational mission that you have at Falkorp?
It's both.
It's both.
It's both. You cannot put everything on the shoulder of the employee, but you cannot put everything on the shoulder of the organization as well. At the end of the day, it's the fit.
Okay. And how do you make?
You hear a lot of things today. Everything is your end. Leadership is the only answer. It's somewhere it's right, but it's too simple to say that, because you don't have always all the power to solve the thing.
So let's make it complicated, but attempt to be simple. How do you fix it?
We try to make the situation as clear as possible and to avoid inconsistency. And I would say a way to fix it is to help a company to make smart mistakes. As long as you can align person all together and they can make a mistake in the same way, the problem is it will be easier because from the mistake you can learn.
Mm-hmm.
At least everybody will have a common understanding on why it didn't go wrong. And as soon as you have a common understanding on what went go wrong, you can improve.
Okay. And how do you make that happen? Talking?
No, yes, talking also, but first we measure, and then
You
we
measure, okay.
we have a set of tools and techniques that have scientific based and validation that make us possible to give you a measurement you can rely on first. And then we have a process that will say, we reformat what is already in the company. Every company has a strategy somewhere. Every company has a roadmap somewhere. Every company has ambition, objective. And we are not McKinsey. We will not explain companies what they have to do on their market, but we have a path that helps to reformat in a single way of reading. So everybody will have the same understanding and what we are looking at. By this process, we can significantly reduce the level of inconsistency in a strategy, in an organization, in a roadmap, and to put that in perspective of the talent you do have internally and the one you need.
Okay. So in other words, Ivan scores 1, I score 3, and you say it's 2, we have a problem.
You have something to solve. I would say that the most interesting is what are you aligned together to decide what you need. Do you need a 3? Do you need a 2? Do you need a 1? Or do you need a 9? If
And
you are,
now, yeah,
if you all together decide that you need a 9 and your score 3 and Ivan scores 1, I would say that you will both agree that you will need someone else.
okay, okay. And there is a market for this stuff.
There is a market for that stuff, yes. And the market for that stuff is today, performance is required everywhere. And the level of volatility, complexity, and uncertainty of the business of the world on the market is so high that nobody can plan something. You
Okay.
need to be very agile and adaptable. But agile is an easy word. You need to see also what is the level of adaptation your organization is able to, and to redefine the level of autonomy of your team. And the level of autonomy depends also on the level of the maturity of the person. And you need to make the right fit and to give the appropriate level of freedom in the company that your team will do need. And from time to time, you will need also to be very directive somewhere, and that's okay.
Okay.
I have a question that is going to make Michel super happy, finally, in fact. What does sustainability mean to you, both personally and for your business?
Thank you for the question, because I forgot to come on that point. Sustainable for me it means that all resource must be sustainable in the time, starting from the human resources. So if you want to have performance at the end, all resources needs to be sustainable. And you need to understand what is the level of resource you have in terms of energy, in terms of talent, in terms of cash, in terms of everything. We are not competent to define what is the best, I would say, eco approach on the, I would say, green sustainability perspective. Our job is really to master the resource of talents that you do work with.
Mm.
And the less energy you will consume to do something, the best performance will be, and the longest way you will be able to walk.
Is it something that your customers require when they are assessing the performance of their company? to look at sustainable processes, sustainability, the mental sustainability, the resources, the mental capacity that people have? Is it something that is required? They ask you often?
Depends. It depends on the context. Most of the time, sustainable project will start because there is a reason for it. A reason can be you need to comply to a norma, to a market expectation. But when we are asked to come somewhere, most of the time is because the price of the performance becomes too high. The human price of performance becomes too high.
Mhm. The life of an entrepreneur is difficult, that you are in Switzerland or any other place in the world. And I wanted to understand, how do you personally manage the work-life balance? How do you manage this balance? And what advice, in fact, would you give to other entrepreneurs trying to achieve this balance?
That's a fucking good question, you know.
Indeed. We
Um,
thought about it.
I think the first thing is to accept that there is no real balance between the professional and personal, because when you are entrepreneur, your entrepreneurship, your project is your life. It's a passion matter. So you don't go to job between 8 to 9 or to 5. That's not, you're living your passion each day. So that's a project that needs to be a family project as well, because it will be at home as well. The point is that you need to treat yourself as if you were an athlete. And an athlete need to integrate in his routine recuperation time. You need to let your body rest to be able to ask for your muscle to give the extra mile. For an entrepreneur, you would need to let your brain rest doing nothing without expecting something about the nothing, to be able to ask your brain to bring the extra mile as well.
So what does it mean? I mean, you meditate, you go for walks.
That the point is, most of the time when you meditate, you go for walks, you often do it with the expectation of being more something. And I think that the trick is to be able to do it without any expectation. To
So
go for
you're watching Netflix.
if it makes sense for you, yes. If you would like to go for a walk, go for a walk, not expecting something else than just going for a walk. Being able to listen to what you would like to do or what you need is being an athlete.
Okay.
Treat yourself as an athlete on a physical perspective, on a well-being perspective. I don't think that managing the balance is something that you can manage. It's not manageable. If one day you have a lot of things to do, but you don't feel in shape to do it, probably it's better to say, okay, sorry, not today. And to accept that you will be better tomorrow.
Gael, you are a little bit international, and I understand that being an athlete is not for everybody, and it's not for everybody to become an entrepreneur. Um, is it easier to be an entrepreneur in Switzerland or, for example, France?
It depends of I don't know if I can give you an answer for everybody. I just can give you the answer for me. I will never be an entrepreneur in France, because the level of freedom that I do need, I can find in here. That is not I will not find it in France here, for many reasons. People will probably be comfortable to be an entrepreneur in France, probably, but I would say that here everything remains possible. You can dream wide, and you can be innovative as well, and there is room for innovation here. But there is also responsibility to take care of yourself by your own. There is no safety net.
Right.
Even if there is some nets that you can rely on, honestly, being an entrepreneur here, if you're not passionate by your project and if you are not ready to pay the price, it's tough. But
And
the
and the
result
price
can be big as well.
and the price in France would be higher?
For me, yes. For me, yes, the price is higher because there is so much regulation, so many, I would say, administrative issue to go over that it's, for me, the price is too high. But for me, probably that person who are very comfortable with a lot of involvement of the states will feel more comfortable to start something in France. And you have a lot of very successful entrepreneurs in France as well. We can see and hear him on the platform, and that's really cool. That's good. But the fit, the mix, you need to have a mindset which is compatible with the country you're operating. And I think that my mindset today is more compatible with the Switzerland that it could be in France.
And when Switzerland is playing France in football, you're for whom?
Watch out.
I don't play football. I love a lot of fun. And I'm practicing martial arts over 30 years. So
So I should be careful with my questions.
no, come on, please be my guest.
The worst is
You
that
know
I knew
what?
that.
I would say that I do consider the entrepreneur pathway a bit like on the emotional. So avoid, take the shot, but continue walking. If you can avoid if you can avoid the hit, avoid it. If you need to take it, but never stop working. Move forward.
But that's the thing, right? Because as you said, this whole journey, which is a high price on personal relationships, on money, on yeah. I mean, it's a nightmare. I mean, it's not like going from 9 to 5 into a job and you get a salary at the end of the day. It's not built for everybody. But what you're saying is, other than taking care of yourself, you should be resilient.
Yeah, sure. But resilience is, of course, it's, I would say, a mandatory capability that an entrepreneur may have. And the point is, there is this sentence is not coming from me, but when you walk across hell, just keep walking. But at the end of the day, if you look backwards, probably that the best memory were when you just were walking across hell and you have been able to go through.
Yeah.
So I'm not an entrepreneur for to get to being rich. I'm not an entrepreneur for the goal. Honestly, I'm an entrepreneur for the way.
So it's all about enjoying the trip and being free.
There is
So
nothing that
if
I
I
do
were to ask
anymore.
you, where are you going? It doesn't
Somewhere.
matter. Okay.
No, we are trying to grow this company, to make this company sustainable, and probably to a point where we can proceed to an exit. But as soon as we will have reached that point, and if we are successful enough to make an exit and to sell the company, we will probably dive in another project, because this is what really the point that we enjoy to do together, is to create, to make something that was on the paper impossible, to make it possible, and to grow it to a point where someone else will be able to drive it on a long period of time. And what's lighting the fire each morning is the travel.
And what is missing?
Performance is a consequence.
What
The
is
money
missing?
should be a consequence.
And Gael, another impertinent question. What is missing for the exit?
Today,
Yeah.
just a couple of years of positive EBITDA.
Okay. And then Adecco will get a call from you.
I hope so. We have a clear target till where we want to push the company before we consider to an exit phase. We have, I think, at least between 6 to 7 years of work in front of us. If it's quicker, fine. If it's longer, fine. But I would say between 6 to 10 years to work together to bring the company to a level of maturity that it will be able to be reasonably attractive also, and mature enough to be sold.
Cool.
tell me, if you had to think about one skill you wish you had practiced more before being an entrepreneur, what would be that skill that you wish, shit, I should have done more of this?
Just one.
For example.
Uh, to dare more.
Daring.
Yes, because even to dare more and to fail faster.
Mm,
I think that what I've learned over the years that is fail fast is priceless.
mm,
And the problem with resilience is if you are very resilient, which hopefully is my case, sometimes you're resilient too long, and you pay a too heavy price to something that should have failed anyhow.
mm.
And the quicker you fail, the quicker you go on with a new idea and with something better.
Hmm. That's the thing with the corporate world is that, in fact, if they teach you, they format you in such a way that you become too cautious,
Yeah.
and you really have to get rid of that when you become an entrepreneur. So
Yes.
you have to watch out. You have to just to have a process in order to validate quicker if you're
Yes.
going if it's going to fail or not, so that you fail fast, so that you can learn and go on with other things.
When you were asking me the difference between Switzerland and France, in France, if you fail, you're just a jerk and nobody wants to work with you anymore.
Mm,
The US, if you have not crashed 2 or 3 companies, nobody will give you a penny to invest in the company you're launching. I would say that here there is this right in between, and the biggest limit in this topic is me, that I should be more open to fail quicker.
Can we help you fail?
No, that's okay. Thank you. I felt that I fucked up 2 marriage already. I'm not rich enough to fail it a third time.
Okay.
Gael, under 2 minutes,
Yeah.
how is your company different, and what is so unique that drives the impact on the world for your company?
In 2 minutes, Kyma is able to solve an issue that has not been solvable as today because we have been able to combine psychometric solution, artificial intelligence, and a bit of real brain juice to give to our customer a real agility opportunity, and to people who were on temporary job the opportunity to go on real permanent contract. And we have this capability today to master the alignment between what a company does need and what an employee is really made for.
Oh, beautiful, beautiful. Gael, how can people reach you out to ask you questions, to understand a little bit more about Kyma, about what you do in Falkorp? Is there any easy way to reach you out?
The easiest way will be through our website. Is the Kyma is Kyma as a service, Kyma dash yes dash aas.ch. Well, you can put the link in the podcast, and also on LinkedIn. Falkorp is falkop.ch, Falkop with a K at the end, and by LinkedIn, by you probably. And don't be shy, just contact us. We will treat your request as soon as possible.
Michel, any final questions or any hugs to give to Gael?
No, I actually enjoyed how he responded to the impertinent questions. Thank you very much, Gael, for being with us today, and uh, wish you all the success that you deserve
Uh,
and enjoyment in the journey. I mean, this is quite a story. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Michel.
Gael, lovely to have you with me. Take good care. See you, my
Uh,
friend.
Thank you, Yvonne. So happy to see you here.